Hello.
Hi.
My name's Alex,
I'm Lydia.
and we both study broadcast journalism at Nottingham Trent University. And I'm in my third year, so I'm finishing in a matter of weeks. And I've only just realised that we should have probably been vlogging for the whole time we were here.
Probably. But I'm a second year, so I've got another year, so I'm still stuck.
Peace, apparently.
Second year.
And I have named this blog/vlog Bread and Butter Pudding.
Without me.
Bread and Butter Pudding Vlogs, because I was making a bread and butter pudding yesterday. I'd show you a picture, but I didn't take one. Apologies. Anyway, so I have my own vlog as well. It's called Alex Tracy, but I'm not going to plug that. But I'm going to say, before we start, right?
Plugging your own vlog already.
Subscribe below, okay? You can make your own vlog if you want. So, because this is our first ever vlog together, I thought we would do a theme of first times. Or was it your idea?
Both.
A joint decision made primarily by me. So, it's just 15 first time things, okay? So it could be anything, but I've narrowed them down. Again, a joint decision made by me. So, Lydia, who was your first best friend?
My first best friend was Abby Groom. When I first moved to Wombourne, because we used to live somewhere else, then I moved to Wombourne, which is in the West Midlands, where I'm from. Yeah, I went to this little nursery thing, and I met Abby there when I was 3, and we're still best friends.
Have I met her?
Yes, you have.
Good. Mine was a guy called Trent, but, and this will sound very dark, I have a very sneaking suspicion he's dead. So, I heard rumours.
Why am I laughing?
I heard rumours. So I'm going to go for a guy who's still my best friend. His name's Ollie. He's out in Australia at the moment, fighting bone cancer. What a guy. Right, next one is first word.
My first word was Dada, because I love my daddy the most.
Mine was a word that doesn't exist.
But then it's not a word.
It was like Jakai.
Jakai.
In my baby book it says my first word is Jakai.
Okay.
Right? So that's my first word. Number 3, first kiss.
My first kiss. Oh, my first kiss was my first boyfriend when I was 15.
I played Kiss Chase a lot because I was a heartthrob at school, so mine could have been a multitude of girls, not gonna lie. First telling off.
I don't know. Probably can't remember my first telling off, so I'd be too young.
Mine, right, was, you know, on those xylophones?
Yeah.
You know, ding. I nicked one of the keys from school, and Mrs. Bastford, be careful how you say that, right? Mrs. Bastford, she had a right go at me for stealing it, and she was head of music as well. I don't know why my primary school had heads of music, but anyway.
I was good in school, so I probably didn't get told off a lot.
What's your first memory?
My first memory?
Think
My
about it.
earliest memory that I can remember was in this place called First Steps. It was like before nursery. We had a sports day, and I remember losing the hula hoop race to my friend Lucy Pickin. That's my earliest memory.
My earliest memory was, I think it was my sister's christening, but I think it was like my birthday as well. They kind of all blur, because I live in a village called Sutterton, and the priest came around, back in the day when priests came around. And this brings me around to the next one, number 6, first bike, because I got my first bike for my birthday. I don't know which birthday it was, but it was a rally spooky bike and it had ghosts on it.
A spooky bike.
Yeah.
I had a Barbie bike, and it had this little purple horn, which was really cute. I love that bike.
First phone.
My first phone. Oh, those Nokia bricks. Can't think what they're called, but it was a grey one. It was my dad's.
How old were you
And then
when you got it?
I don't know. Was I about 10, 11?
I was 11. I got it for past my 11 plus to get to grammar school, and I got a My Sagem V55.
What?
I don't know either. Had a camera.
And a camera? Really?
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
What was your first alcoholic beverage, Lydia?
My first alcoholic beverage? Probably Bacardi Breezers.
Ooh, chav.
I love them.
I think I had
The orange one.
I think I had a Shandy Bass from the Codfather Fish and Chip
Oh
shop.
no! I know my first alcoholic drink. We used to go when we used to go around to Nan's,
I'm not a drink.
when we were younger, and if we had tummy ache or something, we'd always have brandy and warm water and sugar to make our tummy better.
Your nan's naughty for doing that. It's illegal. What was your first trip to A&E?
I remember falling off a horse when I was doing horse riding and really hurt my knee, then had to go to A&E.
I was in hospital for the first like 2 months of my life. But I didn't really go to A&E because like I was already there. I thought my head was falling off once.
How?
I just thought it was falling off. And Mum and Dad took me to A&E.
Because you thought your head was falling
Yeah.
off, or because they could see that your head was falling off?
Well, I don't know if it was or not. I just have a really funny memory.
Okay.
Why is the recording thing flashing? It wasn't flashing a minute ago.
It is, it's always flashing.
Cheeky go.
That's how you know that it's recording.
We can put these
Bless
bits
you.
in the video.
Here,
Right.
keep going.
What's your first trip on the plane?
My first trip on the plane.
The plane.
The one and only plane that everyone goes on to go on holiday.
Right, yeah.
My first trip on a plane. It was in 1998.
That's specific.
Yeah, it was my first holiday abroad in 1998. We went
You
to
were
Portugal. Yeah. We went to Portugal, and I remember that my gagag, who it's my granddad, but I call him Gagag.
Ken.
He actually got to go in, like, look in the cockpit and like look at the pilot and everything. But I was asleep, so I missed it. But imagine trying to do that these days.
I
You
looked
get
in
away
the
with that.
cockpit. I looked in the pilot's cockpit. My first one, I don't know how old I was. I was about 7. And I went on a Monarch flight.
Mine was Monarch.
Monarch to
First flight.
went to Marbella, and it was very nice. Right, what is your first memory? I don't want to know like a rundown, but what can you remember from your first day at secondary school?
I can't actually remember my first day of secondary school, but one thing that I do remember is before, it's kind of like we had like an induction day in the summer where you got to kind of like go in and meet everyone before you went to school. So I always remember that meeting my actual teacher was another, because I used to go to this drama class before, and she was the teacher of that, so she kind of knew me when I first went. And then I always remember one of my best friends now, Amy Bunch, before I knew her, I always saw her, and she was wearing this grey and yellow top, and I really liked it. Maybe that's why I wanted to be her friend.
I can just remember it being a very hot day, and I had a right sweat on, and I had no idea where I was going. You know when you had those planners, and you had like the room in them, you had
Yeah.
no idea where the rooms were. I just know I had history somewhere, and I got very, very lost. Anyway, first sleepover.
I remember going around a girl called Abby Laws. My very first sleepover would be at my nan's. But,
That doesn't count.
okay, I'm going around to
I
this
stayed at
girl
my nan's
called-
every weekend.
Go around to this girl called Abby. It was a different Abby to my best friend Abby. Actually, it was my first sleepover with Abby. Different Abby.
My first
don't
sleepover,
know.
Ollie, my best friend, he came round and we were biking around, and I remember there was a fire at a tyre factory nearby, and it was like big, you know, in the area, because my home is in rural Lincolnshire, and he came over, and then we had like a midnight snack, but it was about 8:30, because we went to bed at like 7, and then, okay, can you remember? Yes.
I remember going to Abby Laws, not my best friend, and I remember wanting to go home, so I went home.
Okay.
Bad first memory of sleepover.
First car.
My first car is the car that I still have now, Little Glow. She's a silver Kia Picanto.
My first car that was mine is the car I still have now, and it's a red Peugeot 107, and I'm too big for it. It's like if you imagine, yeah, if you imagine me trying to climb into a shoe. I'm very tall. Anyway, first job.
My first job, I did work experience at this place called Dudley Designs, and then
How long for?
I did a week work experience, and then a couple of months later, when this girl was leaving, they called me back and was like, do you want to take over her job? So I did.
Well, I did work experience, but they obviously didn't like me, and they couldn't give me a job straight away because it was at a vet's. However, when I was 18, I got a job in a bar in Boston, and it's where I live, and it's the busiest place on a Saturday night when students are at home in the world, and it was awful, and my parents felt sorry for me. Right, last but not least, what was your first prize/award?
I think it'd be, you know, the swimming awards that you get?
Yeah.
You did swimming. My 5 metres would be my very first award.
I got lots of them. I'm practically a dolphin. I try and do a dolphin noise, but I can't do a dolphin noise. Sound like you're being strangled. Mine was, I got a gold certificate. At our school we used to get these things called gold certificates at primary school. Right, and mine was for my storytelling, because I have a great imagination. I still do now, but it was a special one because they used to get them in assembly, but this assembly was done in a church, like as a one-off, and I got it and I felt so special.
Oh, you're good at storytelling, to be fair.
I don't know if that as a compliment or not. Anyway, yeah.
It's a compliment.
Cheers. Anyway, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more vlogs such as this. We need to think of some ideas.
We do.
But, in the meantime, subscribe to us below and message us. Even if it's mean. If it's mean, we'll just ignore it.
No, we'll take it on board and have it as constructive feedback.
If someone called you
You can't say that on our YouTube. We're having a no swearing policy.
You didn't tell me this. I'll bleep it out. So someone called, okay, if somebody called you banana, see, it's not the same.
No, then I'd ask them, oh, so why do you think that I'm a banana? And then
Because you've got yellow hair.
And then I'll say, oh, okay. I don't know what I can do about it because I like my yellow hair.
Anyway, check back soon, and I'm sure there'll be more. And there'll be more on my vlog as well, I'm sure, in the meantime. Much love. Goodbye.